Well, here we are, a Hunter 350 from Royal Enfield. One of the few bikes, possibly the only bike now, apart from the Bullet, which has only just come out. This is one of the few and only bikes I haven't ridden yet. So today, I'm going to see what it's all about. A bit late to the party, but that's me all over. I like to style myself as fashionably late. Right. Stand up. Check the mirrors. Lovely elbow view. Right, let's go for it. Well, here I am today on the Hunter 350 from Royal Enfield. It's a bit of a surprise because my bike went in for a service and I didn't know what loan bike they were going to give me. And I was hoping that it would be something nice and interesting. And they haven't let me down because this is very nice and very interesting. Interesting because it's one of the few bikes I have never ridden in the Royal Enfield lineup. In fact, I think the only other bike I haven't ridden is the Bullet 650, and there isn't even one of those available in my area at the moment to test ride. It's only just come out. So yes, I am very fashionably late to the party, but finally I get to ride a Hunter 350. Now this is not going to be a review because I haven't got it for an extended period, but it is a first impressions. And just as I speak, it starts to rain. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I normally talk out the gates at Hatfields, but I wanted to ride this round a bit, and I've been going around the back lanes mostly just to kind of get a feel for the bike. In fact, what I'm going to do now is I've done the back lanes. I'm actually going to go down a short bit of motorway because I just want to open it up a little just to see what it's like. Now, as many of you know, I had a Meteor 350, so the J series platform, which is the engine, I am very familiar with. But familiarity is something which is a memory now, because obviously I got rid of my Meteor over a year ago. And so, even though I've ridden the Classic, which I loved, you know, I don't rely on memory. I've got experience with it, but I have to reacquaint myself. And the good thing is, it's almost like having a sorbet between courses at a dinner. You know, it just freshens your palate. Here we go. That's got a lovely sound, I have to say. Beautiful sound, this bike. Great tone on the exhaust. Yeah, lovely. Nice. Now, the things I immediately notice on this, twofold really. The two first things that stood out, so I'll do them in order as I discovered them, is just how low it is. A very low saddle. So I can flat foot my Classic 650, and if anybody's trying to get on the Classic 650, it seems something a lot of people struggle to, because on paper it doesn't look that high, but it's quite wide. But I think I've got longer legs and a shorter body, so I can flat foot that. But this I can flat foot and still have a bit of bend in my legs. So the first thing I noticed is just how confident I felt when I came to a stop, particularly as a new bike. It's always nice to feel a bit more confident. And the second thing I noticed is that the foot pegs are further back. more sporty in their kind of stance. Now the Super Meteor 650 has the most furthest forward foot pegs of any Royal Enfield currently. Then I'd say next in line is probably the Meteor 350. They're a bit further back from those forward, but they are still forward. And then I'd say my Classic, which is just perhaps a pip behind the Meteor 350. I'd say a pip behind. I think they would be. I've never really measured them. And then these definitely feel further back. Now, personally, I much prefer a slightly forward foot position. Not because it's better, it's just what I've got used to on the bikes I've ridden, and of all the bikes over the years, for me, it's just the nicest. I can feel that as my feet go back and I'm changing gear, I'm having to lift up my left ankle, and I'm just feeling that a little bit. But that's just purely personal, so I can only give you a first impression, not a review on the bike, as I said. Now, I've always thought these Hunter 350s to look very stylish. I like the design, I like the look. I think the colours, particularly some of the newer colours they brought out, are absolutely gorgeous. And I know many people who ride these and absolutely love them. This is a very popular bike. And don't get me wrong, had it been available when I was looking at my Meteor 350, there's a chance it might have been a good contender. I don't know. You know, that's one of those things, because there were reasons I chose the Meteor 350 at the time, and all that was available was that and the Classic 350. And if I'm absolutely honest with you, I didn't really do much research. I was returning to riding. I'd heard good things about the Meteor 350. I rode it, it worked, and I just went for it. Had I taken more time, I could have gone for a Classic 350. But what I'm saying is I can see that this is a very easy choice for people to make. It's easy on the eye, it's a nice engine, and obviously it means it's got the low fuel, low insurance, low tax, vehicle tax in the UK, that is. So yeah, a nice looking bike. There are many videos that have talked extensively about this, so I'm not going to cover them all, and I've covered a lot of the J series. But it's got that smooth J series engine. I love the J series platform. When I open it up, it obviously doesn't have the power that my 650 has, but when you open it up, it also does something else, as all J series do. It doesn't make you feel like you're missing it. It's difficult to put into words that. You open it up and it just feels like the most natural thing in the world. That is to say, the power that's applied and the speed you go just feels like that's where it should be. Another friend recently bought a J series platform. I won't say which range, but it was one of them, and he just said he was reminded while riding it just how leisurely bike rides can be. I think sometimes more power can force us into a world of feeling we need to just open up every time. So yes, very relaxed in that sense. Now there are a couple of things about this that I would say that are not quite my cup of tea. The rear view mirrors, I don't remember this being a problem with the Meteor, and I don't ever remember it being a problem with the Classic. It might be an adjustment, it might be this could go back a bit, but particularly the right one, I don't seem to be able to see out the back very well. I seem to have a very good view of my arm. Now you might say, well, adjust the mirror. I have extensively. It seems to be on its limits of how far right it can go. So yeah, rear view is not really a great, admirable quality of this bike. Now obviously that's easily fixable. I could get touring mirrors. You can get touring mirrors that stick out a bit further, or you can get bar end mirrors and all that good stuff, but you know, stock mirrors on Royal Enfields are generally quite good. Maybe I'm just a bit big, I don't know. I'm sure there's some bigger people riding these that are quite happy. And the other thing that isn't really my cup of tea is the rear brake feels like it needs to go down quite a long way before it actually starts to bite. Now again, that's probably something that can be adjusted, but I haven't noticed that on any other Royal Enfield. They all seem to be kind of fairly normal, so I don't quite know what's going on there, whether it's an adjustment or whether it's a standard for this kind of bike. Perhaps it's a bit lower because your feet are further back, I don't know. Now anybody who watched my video a while ago when I was talking about it's a bad bit of history, it was almost like a nightmare, thinking of getting rid of bikes, or even just getting a lower cost one because I wasn't using it. No, that's not a bad thing. But anybody who watched any of those will remember that when I rode out on the classic 350, it was just love. There was it was like magic. I don't know, there was just something happening when I was riding that classic 350 that just said to me, everything is great with the world. It was just something about that. Forget the way it looked, forget all of the styling based on a 1938 Bullet and all that good stuff, but it was just the ride as I sat there, it just felt lovely. This is really nice because it's a J series and it's a beautiful bike, and I think if I had this for a long time I'd probably absolutely love it, and there's no reason why, if this was the only bike I'd chosen and I stuck with it, I would. So I can only give you my first impression based on my very biased view, and it is biased, I've got to be honest. It's biased because I love the position on the Classic, I like the position on the Meteor 350, and I love the Classic 350, but comparing it to those, this just doesn't quite hold that level of magic for me. I was away with the fairies on that Classic 350 that day. Unicorns and rainbows, it was all just quite special. But yeah, this is nice. This feels more like what I would call a typical solid bike, and I can imagine for somebody's first bike, for somebody getting a lighter bike in later years, or for somebody who just wants something that's economical to run, this is an absolutely fantastic machine. And I do want to emphasize, this is amazing, this is a great bike, but I'm giving you my first impressions. And the first impressions are, it doesn't quite catch me in the way that the others I've just listed have. So I spent a lot of time just kind of telling you what I didn't like about this and what I preferred, which is a first opinion, it's my opinion, but I kind of want to just spend a little time just emphasising just how lovely this bike is though. And I do get why this could be the perfect bike for so many people. I don't know where I'm going, I'm just going to follow my nose. Because it could be the perfect bike for so many people because it is lovely. It's comfortable on the saddle. It's got that beautiful J series engine. The exhaust note is utterly divine. It's a good riding position. It's kind of what people would expect from a motorbike. It's a little lean forward on the handlebars, and it's a little legs back on the pegs. Kind of slightly more sporty feel. It's light, it's low to the ground, so it's great for people who don't necessarily either have a lot of height to play with in themselves and they like something that's a bit lower, or they just want to have a bit more confidence in being able to put their feet down easier. It has all of those things going for it. And of course, normally I'd spend time talking about the engine and all the other things about the platform, but I haven't on this. I'm really comparing the dressing, because they're all similar bikes with just slightly different dressing. But it's funny how that dressing can make a difference. The Bullet, the Classic, the Meteor, the Hunter. So there we have it. The beautiful, wonderful J-Series platform strikes again in this gorgeous example of the Hunter 350 from Royal Enfield. It's an absolutely stunning bike, and I really do think you could be looking at your next purchase, because these are great. And if you own one, well done for choosing so well. As hopefully I made clear on the video, it was not a review, just more my first impressions. And for me, I just have other preferences in the Royal Enfield lineup. I'm sticking with my classic 650. I absolutely adore that. I love that. If I was choosing a J-Series platform, of which I'm a huge fan, that 350 engine is just wonderful. Clearly the Meteor or the classic 350 would be my two top choices. But again, you've got the Bullet, you've got the Hunter. You know, it's just one person's view doesn't make for a conclusion. It's just something we all have. Views and opinions, and I just confess I'm very biased because I've loved what I've had with Royal Enfield. But I am particularly grateful, I must say, to Hatfields of Crowthorne for loaning me the bike. It's the one bike that I hadn't ridden and I'd wanted to ride. So yeah, gratitude to Hatfields of Crowthorne. And if you want to test ride a bike, they don't pay me, they don't give me anything, I've got no sponsorship or anything like that, but I would seriously give Hatfields a look. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Take care, ride safe, and I look forward to seeing you again with me, musician on a motorbike. Bye for now.